Well, we are a famously unprofitable company because we're clearly a not-for-profit company.
What if I told you that the company everyone thought would collapse in 2000 accidentally created one of the most powerful businesses in history? A company losing billions of dollars, getting mocked on television, and standing on the edge of bankruptcy secretly built a side project that now powers a massive part of the internet. And here's the crazy part. This trillion-dollar empire started because of one internal email. Stay till the end of this video because I'll reveal the hidden principle Jeff Bezos used to transform Amazon from a dying bookstore into the company behind Netflix, Airbnb, Spotify, and thousands of the world's biggest apps.
I don't understand. The company's never made a profit.
That's right.
It's amazing. You know, we lost $12 billion last year and we're doing great.
Well, seems like a new math, doesn't it?
Back in 2000, Amazon looked finished. The dot-com bubble had exploded, internet companies were crashing overnight, and investors were panicking everywhere. Amazon had already burned nearly $3 billion, their stock crashed from $107 to just $7, and more than 1,300 employees lost their jobs. Journalists openly laughed at Jeff Bezos, saying Amazon would never survive because the company had never made a profit. Meanwhile, Walmart was dominating the retail world with billions in profit and massive global operations. Compared to Walmart, Amazon looked weak, unstable, and completely doomed. But while the world focused on Amazon's losses, something unusual was happening inside the company.
Walmart became the nation's top retailer.
Walmart's global influence continued to grow.
Always open to innovation, the company continued to experiment with new ideas.
Walmart had cemented its position as a global retail leader.
A small group of engineers was quietly building tools that had nothing to do with books or online shopping. At the time, nobody realized these tools would eventually become one of the most profitable businesses on Earth. Inside Amazon, every engineering team had its own systems. One team handled book prices, another tracked inventory, another managed payments, and another controlled recommendations. The problem was that all these systems were directly connected to each other. So whenever one team changed something, everything started breaking. Imagine one team changing prices from dollars to cents to fix a small bug, but suddenly another system reads those prices incorrectly and shows a $10 book as $1,000 on Amazon's homepage. These kinds of failures kept happening constantly. Jeff Bezos finally got frustrated and sent a legendary internal email in 2002. The message was simple but revolutionary. From that day forward, no team inside Amazon was allowed to directly access another team's systems. Instead, every team had to communicate through APIs, basically digital service windows where requests could be sent and answers received safely. At first, engineers hated the idea because it completely changed how Amazon operated. But Bezos added one final instruction that changed history forever. He said every service should be designed in a way that even outsiders could eventually use it. At that moment, nobody understood why this mattered. Why would anyone outside Amazon want access to Amazon's internal systems? But Bezos had unknowingly planted the seed for Oz, because inside Amazon, storage, computing power, and databases had already become services that could be requested on demand. And suddenly, a massive realization happened. If Amazon employees could rent computing power internally, why couldn't startups and businesses around the world do the same thing? Back then, starting an internet company was extremely expensive. You needed physical servers, cooling systems, engineers, maintenance, and huge upfront investment before your app even launched, but AWS changed everything. Now a startup founder could simply open a laptop, enter a credit card, and instantly rent powerful computing infrastructure from Amazon. No massive investment, no waiting months, and no expensive hardware. Just pay for what you use. This became a game changer. If an app suddenly became popular overnight, Oz could instantly provide thousands of extra servers within minutes. And when traffic slowed down, companies could reduce costs immediately. Startups suddenly had the ability to scale like giant corporations without spending millions of dollars. At first, companies like Microsoft, IBM, and Oracle laughed at Oz because Amazon was just a bookstore. But slowly the world began moving to Amazon's cloud. Netflix started using AWS after major system failures. Airbnb was built on AWS from the beginning. Spotify, Reddit, Dropbox, Slack, Pinterest, Zoom, and thousands of other companies followed. Without most people realizing it, Amazon quietly became the infrastructure behind the modern internet. Then in 2015, Amazon finally revealed Oz numbers publicly, and Wall Street was shocked. Oz alone was generating billions of dollars and growing incredibly fast.
AWS has a commanding lead in the cloud right now. When people are watching a Prime movie or they're watching a Netflix movie, they're watching and streaming off of Amazon Web Services.
Investors suddenly realized Amazon was no longer just an online shopping company. It had become one of the most powerful technology companies in the world. Today, AWS makes more profit than many famous global brands combined and has become a trillion-dollar business born from what originally looked like a random side project. But the biggest lesson from this story is not just about technology or money. Amazon succeeded because Jeff Bezos focused on long-term thinking while everyone else focused on short-term survival. While other companies chased quick profits, Bezos kept experimenting, building systems, and preparing for the future even when people mocked him. And this is the secret I promised earlier. The world's biggest companies are often built by solving problems before the world even realizes those problems exist. That's exactly what Oz did. Amazon saw the future years before everyone else. And as Jeff Bezos once said, if you want to innovate, you must experiment. And if you experiment, many experiments will fail. Most companies fear failure, but Amazon turned experimentation into its greatest advantage. So the next time you watch Netflix, listen to Spotify, use an app, or store files online, there's a huge chance Amazon is silently powering everything behind the scenes. And the craziest part is that it all started at a moment when the world believed Amazon was dying. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and comment your thoughts below. Do you think AWS is the greatest business pivot in history? With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.